Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Nerdy Theist channel, where I'm helping all of you bridge the gap between loving God with all your mind and being a nerd. My name is Matt, and I am your Nerdy Theist. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about the fine-tuning argument for God's existence, but I'm going to add a little twist, and we're going to talk about it in nerdy terms. But first, let me ask you guys a question. Has this ever happened to you?
Exodia! Obliterate!
Now, if you've played Yu-Gi-Oh long enough, like I have, I'm pretty sure that you've been obliterated by someone's Exodia at some point. But just in case you may have forgotten who Exodia is, or you don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh, let me give you a quick lesson. Exodia is a 5-card monster. Each card represents a piece of his body. And when a player draws all 5 cards at any point during the duel, they automatically win. Now consider this. What if you're dueling somebody, immediately at the beginning of their turn, they declare victory and show you that they've drawn all 5 pieces of Exodia for their starting hand? What would your thoughts be? Would you assume they cheated? Would you think they got lucky? I'm willing to bet that you would vehemently suggest that they cheated. And I don't blame you. I myself would assume the same thing. But notice how, without even knowing the odds, that your first thoughts are already leaning towards they cheated. They rigged the deck in order to get a certain outcome, which is Exodia, to win the duel. But what if you knew the odds? What if you knew the exact numbers that represented what it would take to get Exodia on your first turn? Well, those odds are 1 in 658,008. So you're all probably wondering, what does Exodia have anything to do with the fine-tuning argument for God's existence? First, let me say what fine-tuning is. Fine-tuning is the idea of having a set parameters in order to allow for something to happen or to occur. Now with our universe is incredibly fine-tuned. Take gravity as an example. Gravity is a constant, and it's represented by a number. If the force of gravity was increased just a little bit, 1 in 10 to the 60th, which is 1 followed by 60 zeros, galaxies would not form. The universe would have pretty much collapsed back in on itself after being born, which would mean no life. Another example, quarks. If you increase the mass of a quark by twice its size, which by the way, it's already extremely small in the first place, no life would be able to exist in the universe. In fact, there would be hardly any chemistry possible within the universe. And these are just 2 examples out of at least 20 that if certain numerical values were changed within these constants or masses were increased, life would not be able to happen at all in the universe. And I'm not just talking about human life, I mean even a single cell organism. And the question you guys have to ask yourself is, did our universe just get lucky? Or was it rigged? Was it rigged to allow for life to happen? And this is where my Exodia example comes into play. Now we know the odds for drawing Exodia on your first turn. 1 in 658,008. Those are small odds in comparison to the odds that we need for our universe to be fine-tuned for life to happen. And if we immediately assume that when someone draws Exodia on the first turn, that they were cheating, that they rigged the deck themselves to get this outcome, why wouldn't we think so of our universe, whose odds are so much smaller of it happening? Now, you might want to give your opponent the benefit of the doubt and say, maybe they did get lucky, because it has happened, it's possible. Exodia has been drawn on the first turn, but consider one more addition to this analogy. Let's say you're at the end of the Battle City tournament, and you're facing your opponent, and they drew Exodia on the first turn. Now, just once, fine, coincidence, they got lucky. But then you find out something strange happened. Not only did they draw Exodia on their first turn against you, they drew Exodia on the first turn against all of their other opponents. Now, like I said, that happening once, sure, you can say they got lucky. But it happening over and over again, more than 20 times, if you want to be parallel to how many constants that need to be fine tuned for our universe to allow for life, there is no way you would say that this person just got lucky that many times. You would cry foul, you would say he cheated and deserves to be sent to the Shadow Realm. Now that you know the odds, let's start thinking critically about this. The question you should ask yourself is, what best explains why this happened, why this event happened? This is called inference to the best explanation. And when you're coming up with an inference to the best explanation, you have different ideas, different theories that are competing with each other, such as they cheated or they got lucky. And you're trying to figure out which best explains this. So, once again, the question you need to ask yourself is, if your opponent drawing exodia on the very first turn causes you to believe that they cheated as the best explanation for them drawing exodia, with these odds compared to our universe, why not believe that our universe was designed and rigged for life to happen? Which would mean that our universe has a designer. Now, I can tell already that you guys are probably asking, well, Matt, what if you just shuffle all the cards in your deck over and over again and continue drawing? Eventually you will get Exodia, right? You are correct. And I will answer this and a couple other objections to the fine-tuning argument in my next video, which I'll probably have somewhere over here in one of these areas once it's uploaded. Well, guys, that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something new. If you guys have any questions or comments or something you found interesting, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have any favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards, let me know that as well. I love talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'll let you know my favorite card as well. I do also have a Twitch stream, which will be somewhere right here. So if you want to come on by, you can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh, you can talk about Super Smash Brothers or any other video game that you want, or even about what you saw in my videos. So come on by, let's hang out. I'll have the link to my Twitch in the description, and stay nerdy.